Alright, hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is Chimera Elite, and today we're taking a look at the Songhai. Easily my favorite group. I'm not really sure why, though. It might just be the Eastern Asian aesthetic. It might be that Blink has gotten me out of some really, really sticky situations that I literally could not have won without it. And those situations generally involve provoke, because other than that, there's no way to really get out of provoke other than a dispel or I just outright killing whichever card is giving you a headache. This is a decent opening hand, a little bit heavy on the uh, mana curve, so I got rid of the 4 cost. I got rid of the 1 cost mainly because as nice as having a little bit of a 1 damage plink, a little help in removal, it I need something with a bit more health to deal with the massive spawn of wraithlings that is sure to come. I've got a pretty not a massive amount of removal here. I've got the 2 cost that deals 3 damage. I've got the 1 cost and the 3 cost, but mainly I've got buffs. Mainly I've got buffs and ways to deal with his, uh, just kind of his aggression in a way. But the problem is that 2 cost, it's the one that looks kind of like a firebird. That's not really on my list of things I really want to deal, that I really want to use on a 2 cost minion. Like, I'd rather use that on something that's a lot more expensive and have my Heartseeker be a little pixie and take it out herself rather than spending, again, long term. I kind of play the long game like a lot of the time. And here, this game is kind of ridiculous because it shows how effective someone with provoke is, even against decks that summon up waves and waves and waves of Wraithlings or just units in general. It is ridiculously powerful to be able to summon that many creatures, but it's also ridiculously powerful to summon a creature that can tie up all of those little 1/1s and 2/2s that you continue to summon, or that 2/1 who's creeping in the back. Uh, it's not bad. I really, really like Songhai. I really should have actually killed the 2/1, but I've got the Primus Shield Master that I can just kind of toss in, using my general for a little bit of the close range, uh, crowd control in a way. Phoenix Fire, Saber Spine. They're all pretty good, but also the Saber Spine. Again, playing the long game, trying to make sure I'm constantly on top of board control. Because while I can't have board control in the what's the word I'm looking for? In the traditional sense of having more units, I can have more units that can change the tide of battle, so to speak. And what I mean by that is that you see my Primus is just sitting there. He's a 3/6 holding down 3 of his units. That's fantastic value in my opinion. That's 3 units that aren't wailing on my guy. And now, I generally put the 8/8 out for 2 reasons. One, because it's an 8/8 and it's a problem he has to deal with. And 2, because I want to get rid of any removal he might have. I want to force his hand. And by playing the 8/8, I force his Dark Transformation, which gives him another card, but it also forces another card to be subjugated, essentially. And again, I'm still lacking in board control, but he only has a 3/2. I've got the 2/3 ranged, And I've also got Phoenix Fire to deal with his range. So my guy's safe. I've got a pretty good Ash Mephit on the way to deal with his. The reason I like the Ash Mephit is because it's 5 for a 2/3, and I get 3 of them. And I don't get the place where they all go, but it's still extremely useful because let's put this obviously. That's 6 Wraithlings I can take out, assuming they're all 1/1s. Now this was stupid on his part. What he should have done was, I know he wanted to get his other Wraithlings out, but that was stupid because he could have forced me to burn another card to be able to deal enough damage to kill that card. But instead, I get my Ash Mephits out, and well, you can already see how this is playing out. And I'm just blinking my Ash Mephits around to make sure that they can really do as much as possible and reach as much as possible with their weird ashy breath. And also, one quick, I guess, tactics update, I suppose. The special tiles I was talking about, that the shadow creep, they do have a use, and it's essentially they deal as much damage as there is shadow creep, but they deal damage obviously to things that they are on top that are on top of them, which gives it's nice board control, but generally again you really need to plan it out and to plan where everything's going. Because if you don't, well, let's be honest now. You're gonna kinda what's the word? You're kinda gonna waste it, and it's just gonna be another unused asset that you could be using to your benefit. And the 2/1s, he's weak, but I need to get rid of the 4/5, buff it. This is the reason I like Songhai. I get cheap buffs that can turn a 2/3 into a 5/3 and deal with his vastly more expensive creature. I've got other decent buffs that focus more on attack than defense for my ranged units. I've got really everything I could ever want. And I've also got enough provoke to deal with pretty much anything he throws my way. At this point, he's on a time limit. That is essentially however many turns it takes for my 6/3 over there to burn him out. Now, he's doing a good job in getting rid of my provokes constantly. But even then, he can't reach the 6/3 with any of his cards. He can next turn, but unfortunately for him, we both have Primus Shield Masters, and I don't care that he has one out. I've got another ranged unit on the way. As good of a position that he's in, there's not much he can do. Especially because I've got some Songhai. I can just blink the Primus behind him for even more damage if he does manage to heal himself. He's in a really sticky situation, and he knows it. He's fully aware of this thing. Because if he doesn't get rid of any of my ranged units by the end of the turn, he's dead. He could have actually no, he could have won that. His racial ability, his bloodline, hits hard enough. Hits for 1, right? Hit 1, attack. The 6/3 is dead. But hindsight, right? I'll see you all later. Take care.